Now then, what's happening? You having a good evening? Are you having a good Saturday? I've had a busy day, me, already today. And it ain't over for like, another 6 to 7 hours, with the match being like midnight 30 kickoff for us here. Ugh. How's your day gone? You do anything good? Mine's just been football, really. Got up, took Little at the gymnastics, went to the gym, picked her up, went to the shop, went to go and watch our under-16s against Salford, lost 1-0. Good performance. Shouldn't have lost, really, but good performance. Can't argue with it. And then I watched Paddock on the stream, win 4-1. Good game against Warrington Rylands. And then, obviously, came back here, have something to eat. And then Bosch Alive out. I was debating going for a hike just to fill a little bit of the void between now and the match starting, but I think I'll rest it. I've not really slept for the last 2 weeks with the tour and that, so gotta keep it nice and chill. But let us know what you're up to. Let us know if you're doing anything interesting Saturday night or you're just hanging out until the game comes on. But as per the title, looks like United are about to, here we go, Wan-Bissaka mainly. And also Chido Obi Martin is expected to go his medical in the next coming days. United and Bayern Munich are just among some of the clubs that are going to be at transfer room deal day on Monday, whatever that is, and in Madrid. And they're hoping that some high profile talks can take place while everyone's face to face at that. So, and listening to what Ornstein, who was absolutely 10 out of 10 this window, was saying, like, the agents of both Mazraoui and De Ligt both expect to be going to Manchester United, so they're not quite sure what exactly has happened. It feels like those two are deals that we can get done and get over the line, doesn't it? So we'll just have to see if we can get them done and if we can get them over the line. Jay says, am I back home? Yep, I got home last night. So just trying to ease back into everything going on. Adam says, just got back from Drayton Manor, gonna chill and watch the game. I don't think I've ever been to Drayton Manor, sorry. I'm not actually sure what's there. How's the jet lag, says Loki's. Well, I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning after a pretty good sleep, and I don't know, I feel all right, to be honest. I am tired, but I didn't sleep basically Thursday night because I was flying. It's one of them, innit? Where's the Frankie de Jong deal? Jammy says, here we go again. Vertigo says, we may not have got Obi Mikel, but we have got Obi Martin. Yeah. Gail says, run party. I saw the comment earlier saying we just want to run party until the game. I'm not drinking for a long ass time. I don't know when. I'm not going to put a limit on it. I'm not going to sit here and say 1,000 days or anything. Hang on. Do you mind? Dog's kicking about on some paper on the floor. I'm not going to say I'm not drinking ever again, because that's not going to happen. And I'm not going to say I'm not drinking for 1,000 days, because let's be honest, that's not going to happen either. But I need a bit of a break. So I'm not drinking for now. So we'll see. Ben says, just started my 12-hour shift from 8 till 8. That's my Saturday evening plans. And obviously watching YouTube, so you're working fucking hard. United Crowd says, is Euro being injured actually quite good and helpful? Hopefully we'll sign De Ligt as we do need. I see what you're saying, yeah. Do you mean like that it'll force us into bringing in De Ligt as well? Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's the game. Lee says, my mates all played for Warrington Rylands. Do we play against New Street FC? No, I don't think we do play against New Street. I'm not sure where that's based, actually. Shobit says, Steve, do I think we missed a trick by going after Ugarte instead of Onana from the start? They're virtually the same price point, but one has done well in the Premier League. I do put a bit into... Premier League experience, but I do think Ugarte is a real serious player, you know. Bernard says, any whispers on a second midfielder outside of Ugarte? I haven't heard of that, to be honest. What's the longest I've been off alcohol? I've never really counted, to be honest, so I don't know. Not that long. Velvet Thunder says, also enables Bayern to play hardball, though. Does a little bit, yeah. It's not ideal with that one. Why am I not watching the Liverpool game? Because it's in 4 hours. I am going to watch it, but it's not on for another 4 hours, is it? Or you mean, why am I not in America watching the Liverpool game? Ah, right, well, that. Wait, hang on, an hour. Oh, it's midnight, isn't it? Let me just double check. I'm all confused now. Yeah, it's midnight. Or 1:45, actually. You want to get technical. Yeah, why am I not in America for it? Well, Paddock played today in the league. We actually played last week in the league as well. So the plan was that I was going to come home because we was going to start our league campaign today. But we didn't start our league campaign today. It started last week. And also, I'm banned. So it didn't actually matter, but I didn't know that when we booked the flights. So when we booked the flights, I wasn't banned. So I planned to be going home and doing this. Mark says, "Hi Steve, is it your mate the UFC has let go?" Yes. Do I do any open training sessions for Salford? We're not Salford. You mean for Paddock? We tend not to just have open training sessions. We get a lot of fucking lunatics turn up. Message us through the club and we'll have a chat through there if you want. At Benyon says, I haven't seen anyone comment on it, but there's no United have partnered with MMU's Sports Science Department. No, I didn't. But that's interesting. We'll have a look into what that actually means. Breezy says, link for the Stretford Paddock black/green and gold tops. Got the home shirt on order and would like to complete the set. The black one I might do as members only. I'm going to put it to the members whether we keep it members only because there's something special on the shirt for members. The green and gold will be on sale probably in a few weeks. We got all the home kits in. We started posting them out yesterday, so it's one of those. We'll get all of these out. We'll reactivate the ones that we've got in stock onto the store. When they sell out, obviously there'll be a wait for a restock, but all our shirts sell out usually, so it's one of those. What's Rio's thoughts on Ahmad? I haven't actually spoken to Rio the last couple of weeks, so I couldn't answer that. Well, if one says Steve, West Ham just confirmed Somerville from Leeds. Thoughts? I think he could do a job for us and wouldn't demand minutes. I haven't watched him, so I don't know. Squawk says, mate, get some sleep, man. I can't. I'm not great. It's my first night anywhere. I don't sleep very well, so I'm always going to be a little bit awake. So that is what it is. Tonight I'm going to go. I'll do a live maybe, or probably just do a reaction and upload it after the Liverpool game, and then we will see. Scott says realistic league position finished from this season. I'd be happy with the 4. To be honest, top 4 would be pretty happy with that. Lee says if we manage to sign Dalit and Mazraoui for a net fee of approximately 12 after Wan-Bissaka and McTominay sales, is that decent business? I would say so, yeah, for sure. What did Rude feel like? Like winning the fucking Champions League again? He's fucking mega, isn't he, Rude? If you've not seen it, I managed to get Rude into my post-match review after Betis on... Fucking hell, what day was it? Wednesday, wasn't it? I'm assuming there's no transfer review this week. No, I don't know if someone else has done it while I've been away, but yeah, I was flying at the time it was. How tall is Rude? Fucking well tall. And if anyone's in San Diego, do you fancy going and getting my fucking case for me? It's in between Carousel 5 and 6. Because I can track that shit with my AirTag. And I've sent it to British Airways and been like, look, it's right there. Right there. Can you go get it? No? Okay, fine. Fuck you then. Steve says, anything or anyone in particular I'm looking more closely during tonight's game. I'll be watching Ahmad because I think he's going to start. I'll be watching Amas because I think he might get minutes from the start. Janine's commented saying, whole kit's being posted out all week and into next week too. Green and gold land in our office on the 15th. We will then start to post those and then we'll put what we've got in stock on sale for whoever's quick enough to go get one, because like I said, that shit sells out. And if you're interested in getting on the pre-orders and if you're interested in getting on what might be a members only shirt, we haven't decided yet, then just become a member. Search Stretford Paddock Fan Ownership and let us know what you think about the new website. We've got a new website and I think it's absolutely fucking killer, so let me know about that one. James says, evening Steve, we need 4 out and 2 in this week. Same the following week. Most of our players won't even have played a game before City. That's worrying. That is worrying. T Mills with a super chat. Cheers. Our kid says Steve went to the stadium tour on Monday, spoke to one of the staff members and said they've had more meetings with Sir Jim about the structure than the Glazers, and for me that's refreshing to hear. Yeah, that's fantastic, isn't it? And I agree that he does seem to be very open. I mean, there's a lot of people pissed off. 250 people have lost their jobs, so not everyone's going to be psyched about that. 250 people losing the job is not great, but I think it just shows that the ruthless willingness that they've got to be able to just make change happen. And I'm sure they'll figure out what was right and wrong about that pretty soon. Daniel says, Donny scored for Girona, signing back up. Mike says, for some reason, I'm unable to resub for my membership. Drop us a message, drop me a message on Instagram and mention that, and I'll see what I can do for you. Cameron says, alternatives to Ugarte if too expensive, where do we go? I will do a short list on that. Let me write that one down. I'm going to put that in my notes. I'm going to write that down. Because that's a good idea for a video, I think, isn't it? Colin says they didn't become billionaires by accident. They put the best people in place off the pitch, so they'll do the same on it. Philip says, Steve, what's going on with the transfers? I think they're happening, you know. I think everything's just been busy in that. Breen says, I work in Dublin Airport Baggage Hall. Put a word in for you. I mean, I don't know if that's any hand, but I appreciate it. Prasanna says, Delit and Mazraoui are both injury prone. Why do we keep going for injury prone players again? I mean, they're players who've had injuries. I don't know if I'd call them injury prone, to be honest. Velvet Thunder says, anyone snapped up Ndidi? No, that's a weird one, that, isn't it? MM says, disgusted with scenes in England. We are stronger when we're united. Don't let these hate merchants corrupt you. Do you know what? I was just chatting to Kane Musa earlier, actually, about it doesn't feel like a Mancunian thing. Like, Manchester isn't that. This is fucking Stoke and shitholes like that do this sort of stuff. But yeah, there's been some ugly fucking scenes in Manchester today. And you can't just deny it because Manchester's not normally like that. That shit happened. And black people are getting beat up in Manchester because they're fucking black. It's not acceptable. So I'm hoping common sense prevails and people start getting fucking nicked. Mr. C says, any new Paddock signings in the mixer? Yeah, so we're actually working alongside United for something, which you might see the light of soon, hopefully, for some ex-players that are involved in the Academy Alumni Project. So stay tuned for that one. It's not come to fruition yet, but we will see. There's a striker coming down that used to play for Hashtag on Tuesday. There's players in that in the mix. We will see. This time of the window, like, there's always a lot of people go, players that maybe played a league or 3 higher, realise maybe they're not starting and then start looking around for a club they can come to. So you always kind of pick up towards the back end of this window. We'll also lose players for the same sort of reason, that some players will think they were going to start for me and they're not, and they'll probably move on. That happens as well. At Benyon says, DM'd you on IG for MMU's info on United partner. Thank you, appreciate that. Richard says, ugly scenes all over the UK today. Yeah, it's shit, isn't it? Squawk says, is Leisha injury prone or how long until? If he has another season like it, then he's absolutely going to be considered injury prone, isn't he? Hendrik says, Steve, you probably heard about Mokaev and the UFC not renewing his contract. What happened there? I've not spoke to Mo. My gut instinct is he probably doesn't sell a lot of pay-per-views, and considering Dana had such a fucking problem with Mighty Mouse being as dominant as he was in that division, and Mokaev is nowhere near the sort of size of a star that Mighty Mouse was, I don't think Dana wants him as the champ, and I think he was on a collision course for the belt, and I think he would have won the belt. And I think they just didn't want him as a belt. Since Zuffa sold and it's become a WME enterprise, for me, the UFC's gone completely fucking downhill. They've just chased, like, mad money fights. The reason that the UFC overtook boxing was because it was based on the rankings, and the rankings were what they were. And that's it. And, if you're the champ, you're fighting the number one contender. And if you're the number one contender, you're going to get a shot at the belt. And that's all changed. Sean says, some of my friends watching, and I'm honestly a little concerned where their heads are at. Watching what? Boudwin says, Leisha is not injury prone, was rarely injured at Ajax. At Ajax, never even had injury crisis like United had. He's been injury prone, though, innit? Steve, thinking of joining the Irish Reserve Defence Forces. Have I had any experience with the Irish Defence Force during my time in the army? No, I don't actually know of any combined sort of exercises or anything that we've done with the Irish. I know very little about the Irish Defence Force at all. So, sorry, I can't help you on that, mate. But what I would say is go and give it a go, because it isn't for everyone, but it is for some people, and you might really enjoy it. And usually joining the reserves, you get a lot out of it yourself. So I say go for it and find out. Steve-O, Ten Hag's reaction to the 4-2-4 high press comment made me style. I haven't seen that. Can you elaborate on that for me, please? Because I've just avoided looking, apart from like having a glance earlier about some transfer news, I've just avoided looking at all the different quotes and stuff coming out of stuff. Witterbird says, Steve, when I asked, was it Dan Ashworth, and he pointed for me to ask Ten Hag, it wasn't Ten Hag, sorry. He said, speak to the boss. He was talking about Andrew Ward, who is the press officer and the head of communications. That's who he was saying. Ten Hag, I think, was in the area over there, but he was talking about speak to Andrew Ward. And I shouted, I don't know if this got picked up on camera, but I shouted, Andrew, give us a thumbs up. And Andrew gives us a thumbs up. And I was like, yeah, see? He said you can talk to us. But there was a real nice energy about all of the staff at United. It felt like things could be asked. And obviously, I asked Tom a bit of a cheeky question, but I did speak to Tom afterwards. I was like, that wasn't a bit too much, was it? And he said no. So no. And then we ended up I had a little picture with him afterwards as well. No, this feels like a real nice energy around the club at the moment. Richard says, are the rest of the Paddock lads still out there? Yes, those guys are coming home on Sunday. Obviously, I came home early because of our match, but then obviously we didn't have a fucking match. Tom says, great win today. Stay hashtag up the Paddock. Cheers, our kid. Dan says, Mainu and Casemiro can't work in midfield. Not enough legs to play out Ten Hag wants, and we get exposed. Scholes and Carrick had no legs, but could dictate or worry in the system if it's the two. I know what you mean, but Casemiro could do it if he plays like first season Casemiro, because you got to remember he did that alongside Eriksen. And Mainu, as much as I don't think he's like a Kante regen, he's more mobile than Eriksen. Michael says, see Cam casually chatting with Robbie Williams. Good on him. No, I didn't actually. No, I've missed all sorts, haven't I? Either while I was flying or today while I've been out all day. So no, I didn't see that. It's funny how often I ran into Cam while we were away. It's quite a laugh, actually. James says, Steve watched the video of Xerxes training with Bruno, Garnacho and Delo. That guy is a beast. Looking forward to seeing him in the shirt, as are all of us, especially with the injury to Højlund. Bob says, Steve, I'm going to put it out there early that we should never buy anyone from Germany. I can't think of one player we've got that's been a long-term success. Well, who've we bought from there, realistically? You're looking at like Owen Hargreaves, but for injuries, he would have been. Kagawa, I mean, I think that was on us rather than on him. Obviously, yeah, we've not had great success stories, have we, really? Squawk says, Steve, shout out Rue, my wife. She's mint. Love that. Shout out Rue. Oliver says, I reckon we've brought Rude in just for Anthony. What's just fucking batter him, do you reckon? It was really interesting being close enough to watch training and see what was going on. And by the way, if you don't think I'm putting the exact fucking drills that I saw United doing last week on Tuesday night, you're fucking wrong, because that's exactly what I'm doing. But it very much like Rude was the one taking training, and it very much like Rene Hark was kind of cutting about people and like just titivating, maintaining standards, just like, hey, quicker with that or slow it down or whatever it was that he was saying. I couldn't quite hear what he was saying, but he was the one that was kind of getting involved and doing a little bit of detail. But Rude was the one with the whistle in his hand and his mouth, taking the actual session, while Ten Hag stood and sort of observed the wider sort of session, and I like that. Abhinav says, did I see some good drills? Just that one that I'm like, I'm stealing that. I heard that they was doing some overlapping fullback stuff in a closed session. So we will see. Liam says Cam was in the second kit reveal as well, bless him. He's in fucking everything. He's in absolutely everything, isn't it? Do I think we'll be ready for the start of the season? as ready as anyone else would be. Yeah. Does this mean Sancho stays? I don't know. I'm not sure, you know. Gareth Fox says, do I believe we're keeping Sancho? He actually looks happy, but his X account is all Dortmund. I think we're trying to sell him. One of them are going to send it. Disco Stew says, evening, Steve. Good evening. SDMN Clip says, didn't Cam work at Paddock? Yes, he did. And now, obviously, he works at United and he's all over everything. Squawk says, does Rude becoming manager feel like a Woodward-style move? Not necessarily. It does feel semi-inevitable, though, doesn't it? Hummel's on a free. Oof, I'm going to have to pass on that one, I think. David Hurley says, just logged on. Here we go for a transfer. Yeah, it looks like Wan-Bissaka is going to be getting here we go on the way out. It looks like Obi Martin's going to be getting here we go on the way in. And it looks like we might get some movement on Mazraoui and Delict on Monday is what people are hoping for. Ian says, if our attack has even half the bite Rude had as a player, we're already way ahead of where we were last year. Welcome home, Steve. Cheers, that kid. Yeah, you know what? I fucking love Ruud van Nistelrooy. Honestly, the most fangirl I've been in a long fucking time was just standing there, just looking at Ruud. Was there any fee received for short hire? Haven't seen that. I mean, I've said Arsenal fans are insufferable again. Of course they are. They can't shut up, plus all the false facts. Yeah, this is Arsenal fans. They're never going to change. John in the comments says, still looked like a schoolboy when it came to Rude. Yes, I did, but shut the fuck up, John. And thank you for my gift, which I haven't fucking got because it's in my fucking suitcase in San Diego. So aren't you in LA at the moment? Do you want to go and get my case for me, please? Mikhail says, what's the most surprising thing I've ever learned from Rio? Surprising thing. What's the most surprising thing? How down to earth he is, to be honest. Because one, he's a Cockney. Two, he's won the fucking lot. Three, he captained Manchester United for winning the Champions League. Do you know what? Actually, the most surprising thing is how much YouTube he watches. That's probably the most surprising thing. Mr. C says, would I say United softened their attitude to working with fans and new clubs such as Paddock? It seems that way. Yes, and it may or may not because a certain individual has left the club, but that would be speculation. Gethin says, Sancho Ugarte swap deal. I'd be bang up for that, to be honest. Larry David says, Wan-Bissaka had to go, surely. I think he did have to go, yeah. Steve-O says, Rio watching this late night live. He'd probably text me if he did. And me and Ash back on 5 soon. Well, we got a meeting on Monday to figure out what's going to happen with the season because I don't know. I think there's going to be a restructuring of stuff and I don't know what that means. And like that's not like, oh, we're going or oh, this is going. Or, I literally don't know what it means. It's like I don't know what it's going to look like next season. There's going to be a reconfiguration, so we will find out. Michael Rivera with a super chat says, shout out good vibe John for the suitcase hero. Has he replied actually? Have I missed his reply? I haven't seen his reply if he has replied. Yes, I am back in the UK. How would I rate the summer window so far? Feels like a 6, doesn't it? So far. What's my favourite Yapstam moment? Mine was a Zamorano brick wall. Yes. Dave says, cheers Dave, I follow Steve a lot, just my busy this week, so I missed a week or so. Any more on Ugarte? I haven't heard anything on it. Phil says, riots happening in the UK and all I can do is waste time on sports. Unfortunately, mate, my living is based on being a fucking commentator on sports. I give my opinion on sports. If I was a political commentator, yeah, I'd have a big week on my hands right now. But ultimately, I haven't been involved in the riots. Today I've had a day filled with sport and sunshine, and it's going to continue with that. I'm not getting involved with that shit because it doesn't fucking involve me. Okay? Disco says, amazing to meet up with the Irish Supporters Club today at the Paddock win. Yeah, do you know what? I put it on Instagram earlier. I am completely fucking blown away and humbled and very grateful for the fact that we not just have a fan, but we have enough fans that we've created an Irish Supporters Club for this fucking little football club that I created. And not only that, they come over to watch games regularly. And they was at the game today. And I absolute shout out to those guys. Hope they had a good time. And we put in a good performance from today, so at least they had that. Edward says, we were linked with a lad from Monaco, the DM, I forget his name, but we've done a scout report. Any idea where those links went? I think there's going to be a few names that just get flung around a little bit, and we'll probably see a bit more of that as people start to scramble. You know, there was some of the press pack that you could see very clearly just fucking making things up. Certainly when it came to the injuries and that last week. No match day preview. No, I've not been able to do one for this game tonight. I just haven't had the time. Hendrik says, wait, what reconfiguration? They better not ruin a perfect show. I don't know. We have a meeting on Monday. We'll figure it out after that. Mark says, today's riots, tomorrow's chip wrapping, football is forever. Greg says, all I'm bothered about is watching United tonight and picking up my too good to go to Greg's in the morning. Daniel Berry says, football YouTuber talks about football, controversial, people are widgets. Alex says, am I happy to be back? I'm indifferent. Nice to see the family. Otherwise, I enjoyed the tour. Am I jet lagged? I'm not sure, you know. I don't know about jet lag. I mean, I get it in America when you go that way, you just wake up dead early and you're pretty tired late at night. But my sleep pattern has been absolutely fucked. From Wednesday through to Saturday, I'd only slept 3.5 hours. So it kind of mad for it. Colin says, is it possible Tom Eaton signs for Paddock one day? Yeah, it's possible. And I may have asked him several times already. I actually think he would do, you know. James says, cheers on the trip. Looked like you had a good trip. Yeah, it was a great trip. It's nice to go meet everyone. I'll be honest. Like, as much as I ain't the social type that just loves just go and fucking hang out and that all the time, it is nice to go and meet people and hang out and stuff, and then, you know, chat to different people and get the different perspectives from people across the world. So it is nice. Matt says, driving through the Mojave Desert on my way back from hiking in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Keep up the great work. That sounds like a lot of fun. Did I see many Paddock shirts? Nah, not too much, actually. Not too much this time, actually. Jason says, Marcus returned one of his best seasons and Ollie working one-on-one with him. Imagine what Rude will do with him. Rasmus the same. Both should bloom. Hope so. Is De Gea still available for Paddock? Yes, he is. I don't have a contact for him, though. Otherwise, you better fucking believe I would have been throwing that one in. Sleeping Bear says, have we got a match on the 14th of September? I'll be in Manchester. We will have. And if we're not at home, obviously we'll be away. We play every single Saturday, although we haven't got one next Saturday for whatever reason. We only have August fixtures so far, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. Larry says, do I think Delo should be our starting right back? For now, yes. Get Phil Jones in for Paddock. He wouldn't stay fit. Gareth says, American college stadiums just shows how far we are behind in this country. It does. Andrew says, how mad is the feeling that the season starts literally next week? Well, Paddock season started on the 27th, so it's not been that weird, actually. We've just been trying to cram in as many games and that. Dave says, impressed by Amas? Yes. Yep. Disco Stew says, the new Paddock Codebreaker home shirt is absolutely mint, by the way. Picked mine up today and it is fire. Hostad says, the Sofi can keep its big-ass TV, though. That's weird, yeah. Do you know what? I don't mind the new stadiums sometimes, and the look of them can be cool, but that telly and Sofi's, it's fucking bigger than the pitch, man. It's really distracting. Malika says, when the UFC is concerned, you ain't got a clue. Where the UFC is concerned, you ain't got a clue what you're on about. That's objectively not fucking true, though, is it? Larry says, curious who my go-tos when I watch content on YouTube. It's not football content generally. Probably stick to football. Is the one of football content that I put on the most. But it's not football content. David says, Owen Martin on the bench for the Fulham game. Interesting thought. It might be happening, you know. Someone mentioned that he might be the third choice, or speculated that he might be the third choice. Robert says, 5:30 Sunday morning here. My time in Brisbane. My timeline is full of riots, gender rows, and non-transfers to United. Oh, joy. Chris says, how's Luke Shaw blagged a full holiday this season? If he gets injured before he fucking starts, I'll be fuming. Notch says, did I vlog over there to come out on your channel? I did, but having looked at it, it's not fucking very good, to be honest. We didn't get a lot. The best stuff happened spontaneously, doesn't it? And spontaneous, because I was on my GoPro and didn't have camera operator with me this time, it just wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, to be honest. So it may not come out. I'll probably put it as Patreon, because it's not that great. Fraser says, how's the no Red Bull? Well, I'm on this, so you see this? Which obviously you can't tell what it is, but it's a little drink called Optimised by Combat Fuel. Gareth says, fan support didn't look as full the last friendly. Stadium looked half empty on TV. Yeah, so I don't think Real Betis had anybody there. And it was a work night at 7 o'clock, so wasn't the best of time. The last time we was in San Francisco, it was a weekend, and I think that mattered, to be honest, because the tailgate was rapid, like absolutely banging, and the tailgate wasn't really busy for this one, so you knew it was kind of been one of those. Andrew says, I'm on this, and what produces what looks like a gallon of piss. Honestly, it is a bit like dehydrated piss colour, and it doesn't help that it's in a blue bottle, admittedly, but it's mango flavour. It tastes nice. It's got a little bit of caffeine in, no sugar in, and it's helping me drop the Red Bull, so it's a good one. Notch says, cutting down on the sugar is the thing. Yeah, that's the one I wanted to really do. Dan United says, can we get an official apology for you for being wrong on the away kit? No, fuck you, and fuck the away kit. It's better than we thought, innit? Liam says, it's hilarious how MMA fans are so desperate to call other fans casuals. Like, what are you trying to prove? I mean, yeah. I mean, Mokaev, I was there for his world title win in 2019. You know, before he was even a professional. His second world title win in Bahrain. But yeah, I'm a casual MMA fan that goes to Bahrain to watch amateur fights, I guess. Abhishek says, could I speculate why our players are getting so injured? Is it some evil eye? Probably not. No, I couldn't. Dave says, T20 away kit. It looks less cricket than it did on the leaks. The leaks looked really fucking bad, didn't they? But it's one of them, innit? Danny Knight says, the third kit looks like a set of fucking pajamas. Well, to be honest, I think the away kit's the best one. I think the third kit is the best one. I think it's absolutely mega. What's my thoughts about seeing more of Cam on United socials? Must make me feel a little bit proud for someone that we've worked with, smashing it. The thing is, Cam's deserved it. He's done well. He's gone to United and he's done well since he got to United. So it's one of them, innit? Larry says the white kit is the best. Phil Berry says third kit is the best. Whitterbird says third kit is the best. Yeah, I think we get a lot of people agreeing on that one, innit? Shane says, food in the US, favourite dish so far? Well, I'm home, so it's not a so far. Like, let me have a think. We didn't really eat out. I don't even remember eating in LA, actually. I don't remember eating in LA. I mean, I'm sure we did. Honestly, I was so fucking sleep deprived in LA. Oh, we had In-N-Out. I had In-N-Out. I had In-N-Out twice. That's all I remember eating. And I had cereal. San Francisco, we had good food. We had, was it 2 places I got quesadillas, and it was fucking enormous, and I couldn't finish it. And Joe ended up taking it home and finishing it the next day. I would say the best food was probably some tacos that we had in San Diego. Abhishek says, Steve, you mentioned Paddock playing the FA Cup would be some sort of dream come true. Is it possible for regional league teams to participate? Yes, it is. We're 3 promotions away from being in it. SDMN says, how many edibles did we have? Don't lie, tell us. What had me and Joe on the floor? I swear to God, I can't remember what had me and Joe. We were 10 out of 10 pissed, and I've got a video of Joe singing with no music in the car on the way home. I had no edibles. I'll tell you the truth. I've got nothing to hide, but I am back in the drug testing pool with the army, so I've not had any edibles. And the reason that I say that is, I think that sort of stuff being legal, you should be allowed to participate. But the fact that it's not, and the fact that if I have a fucking ding dong at a Saturday League match, it ends up in the Daily Mail. Then if I tested positive for fucking edibles just for a night out when I was in LA, I guarantee that would end up in the fucking Mail. And I don't want to do that. I respect the job of the military so fucking much that I would never put that at risk. So, unfortunately, no. As much as it'd have been a laugh, I didn't have any fuck about with edibles this time either. Common Pence says, Keeper Kit might be the best of the lot, the black kit. Alex Bailey says, why am I back in the testing pool? Think about it, Alex. Why would I be back in the testing pool? Tyler says, Adam looked high all holiday. Well, he was fucking high all holiday, so that's that, innit? Hendrik says, how weird is Joe? Is he the weirdest person I know? No, I don't think he is. But he is fucking hilarious. There's been some fucking one-liners that, honestly, they deserved to be caught on camera. And I don't remember what the fuck it was. But yeah, we were absolutely floored. And there was, oh shit, we were driving to Sofi Stadium. I probably shouldn't have been driving because I was absolutely fucking steamboated the night before. We'd had about 4 hours sleep, so I was definitely still over the limit. Who said it? Adam said something in the fucking car, and I couldn't fucking see, and my eyes were watering that much. I couldn't clear them quick enough. It was fucking dangerous while we were driving. So it was one of that. Fucking yeah, I've done some laughing this trip. I tell you that for free. Gareth says, get Adam to shave those legs. We need more manscapes and more people. Do I know the name of the beat we used to use for my intro? Oh no, sorry. Always wanted to try birria tacos. Have you? I think we had birria tacos. I think that was what we had. Oh, I think I tried birria tacos. Is that? Oh, I want to say, is that pulled pork? Is birria pulled pork? What are my current associations with the military? Have I taken voluntary retirement, or do I engage with other capacities currently as well? I am back in the army in a reserve part-time basis. Philip says it's beef, but it's great. Yeah, oh yeah, maybe that was it. Shane says, brief chat as to what you're up to in the army. Nope. Jace Parker says, birra is the sauce that the pulled pork is drenched in. Got you. Fair enough. Dan says, what was my first impression of Joe Smith when I met him? I thought he was really good. So, for those who don't know the story, Joe did a fan cam, pissed up on red wine with his dad. And me and Abdul are standing at the side watching him, and I was like, that was pretty good. And then he came back and went, there isn't any internships going or anything like that, is there? This is a Tuesday night, by the way. And we literally started internships the day before. And I said, yeah, come to the office and come and have a chat with us. And he did. And now the rest is history. And we have that silly Jesus-looking fucker on tour with us. That's the top and bottom of it. What's I think that's what Flex was eating on his vlog. I haven't seen it, so I couldn't tell you. What fixture am I looking forward to going to this season? And having been in the camp on tour, have I taken anything away to try? But yeah, there was a drill that Rude was running that I'm going to be doing on Tuesday with the lads, which was an 8v8v8. And that's probably it, really. Yeah, that's probably the one I'm going to try. Darren says, when's Joe going to bring out a seagull again? I don't know. I'd love him to bring that show back, though, because it was fucking sensational, wasn't it? I think it'd be fucking brilliant if we did that. IR says, thoughts on Red Bull and Leeds? Wait, am I subconsciously fucking the Red Bull off because of its association with Leeds? Feels like that might be a thing. Avishek says, more United ground and grass look the best amongst all the team Paddock plays, at least on screen. Did I also feel the same? Fuck no, it was awful. I don't know how it looked good on camera because it was fucking bald up close. Janine says, it's hung up in the office. Are you on about the transfer seagull? Is it? Whereabouts is it? Philip says, so many modern stadiums seem completely soulless. Have I been to any new ones that have actually have some character still? Yeah, San Mamés Bilbao's was good. Jace Parker says, Joe's late night Friday show was sensational. Agree. And I don't think he did a single one sober, to be honest, as well. It was quite the feat. What happened is you would have Cam, Alex, Patterson, Joe, maybe a couple of others that would kind of just fucking drink in the office. And then get absolutely twisted. And then he would do the show, and then they would carry on going out. Like James says, yeah, brought to you by Cans. Disco Stew says, the best was Hyde United, hence why it's our home ground now. There wasn't a decent grass pitch in last season, sadly. Nah, at our level, grass is fucking bad, man. It's bad. Steve-O says, think Ipswich stay up? Yes. Notch says, Patterson drink and get twisted? What the fuck? Yeah, sadly, he didn't really, no one really knows about this, but he has a drink or two. Avishek, could I talk about the top 3 or 4 areas of improvement for Paddock I felt based on last season? I don't know if we're there with them yet. Unless he's saying what I think we need to work on. It was fight and grit, which is kind of the same thing. I think talk and communication, which I think is improving. The fight and the grit we have to see. The talk, finishing. That's it really. Like we play some nice football and we defend pretty well. We don't give up a lot of chances. It's just cutting out mistakes. We give opposition their chances, whereas we have to work for ours. Ant says, most funny is Joe looking like he has leprosy. The intros or the cutaways that Joe used to do, he spent all fucking day filming them, and they were crazy, wasn't it? And Ant says, has our season already been derailed because of these injuries and lack of early transfers otherwise? No, I don't think it's been derailed, but like we can't really afford too many more, can we? Abhinav says, why do I think countries like Scotland aren't great at football anymore compared to, say, Croatia that had the same population? It's a really good point. I'm not sure. It can't be the strength of the leagues, and it can't be the percentage of homegrown players. Is it the fact that Croatian players are more willing or more likely or maybe even more wanted abroad, and is that helping them? I mean, you think a lot of Scottish players ply their trade in England, so they're playing at a high level. Why is that not translating? I put it back on them and say the academies need to be doing more. Was I talking to Sam Homewood again? He literally just texted me as I went live, asking if I was in South Carolina. Do I think we'll finish with Liverpool this season? Yes, I do. Gareth Fox says, do you know when United fly back? I hope they don't leave it late, and I reckon they leave straight from the match. I reckon. I watched the videos on YouTube of Brian Clough stories. It's one of my favourite things to watch on YouTube. Interesting that Fergie didn't sign Pearce because Cloughy was too difficult to deal with. Interesting. Abhishek says, in case Paddock would get promoted, would it have any on-ground advantages between the two leagues besides the psychological advantage? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Darren says, is it those earlier years, are Scottish kids not playing football as much? I'm sure they are. Andrew says, I saw Flex and the Paddock guys at the bar. Am I crazy, or did I see Laurie out there too? Laurie pretty much live with us. So yeah, if you'd seen them, you'd have seen him as well. Tony says, asked about 5 times and no reply, and then deleted his message. All right, I don't know what he was asking. Philip says, love the content you guys put out. Really hope one day I get to meet all of you guys from Paddock in person one day. Well, we're about. Stephen Harris says, Cluffy made Pierce fix his wife's iron. Yes, a great story. Lee says, Scotland's 2 main problems are their best players are both left-backs and they play in a flat 4 of central midfielders across the park, allergic to wingers. I think they've got to be able to produce footballers, though, surely. Samuel says, Paddock draw United in the FA Cup. Who do I support? Well, if I'm managing, I'm going to try and do the best I can. But ultimately, if United draw Paddock, I don't think people quite realise that. I think hashtag got to the first round, their first time of asking in the FA Cup. That is fucking rare, you know. FA Cup round was played today, I think. You go and have a look how many teams from the previous round that are a step below that actually make it through this round. It just doesn't happen. It's really weird. People like to think that anyone can beat anyone in the FA Cup and it's a cup and this, that and the other. But there are basically no teams from step 6 left in the cup. Like none. And then all the step 5 teams will lose to step 4 teams. And then all of the step 4 teams will lose to step 3 teams. It's fucking bizarre. There's an occasional 1 or 2 pop through and that's it. Dante says, do I think United can have more of an influence on younger player development using the likes of smaller Manchester clubs like FC United or Paddock and Salford? Yeah, I think so. What tier of Paddock in? We are level 13. Our under-16s have done quite well, actually. We played FC United on Tuesday, I think. Tuesday. And beat them 4-1. And then they played Salford today and they lost 1-0. Which I'm pretty happy about, man, because we're right in the mix with all of them now. It's not Notch says Ramsgate are in step 4, are over 100 years old. Last season was their first time in the FA Cup, first round. Fuck. Do you know what I mean? You just don't get through. There's 7 rounds before round 1. Ryan says, Steve, we are surprising a few this season. Fancy us to finish 2nd or 3rd and win Europa and bring through a few academy boys and implement a good style of play. Real positive for this season. The positivity I get, but we'll see how it breaks out, I reckon. Yeah. I can't wait. I'm excited for it. I am genuinely excited for the season. I love this part of the season. I've said this a couple of times on video, but I really do like this part of the season. You get all the fresh kits, the sun's out, so all the colours are really vivid. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Would I ever consider Gig Lane? They're having Astro built now. It's too far out of the city, really. Bury's a long fucking way, and I know Hyde isn't in the city centre, but it does feel closer. Do I get a feeling Sancho can step up this season? Not for United, I don't know. How long of a leash does Ten Hag have if United start off poor? I don't know. I think it could go either way, you know. Yeah, I think you might get more of a chance than you think. Philip says, Steve, I understand you're a bit of a rugby league fan. With all the lads who don't make it at Prem Academies, am I surprised they more don't move to league or union? Seems like athletically they do well. I don't think they would, because the contacts that you receive in rugby league and probably to a lesser degree rugby union are just so fucking alien to a footballer. And also, you could be one of the best players in rugby league and rugby union and you're not getting paid as well as a League 2 footballer. So lads that don't make it in academies can just go play non-league, make a living and hope to get back into League 1, League 2, whereas picking an entirely new sport that you've never played potentially, that's a hell of a risk to just change the sports and see what happens. Disco Stew said, Claire said Paddock are a 10-team club now. She appreciated my suggestion of 30 teams next season. I want 50. which sounds like loads, but it's not that hard actually to get them. And there was a guy messaged me today that was thinking about bringing a team over for under 15s as well. So it's one of those. Have I been watching any of the Olympics? I haven't seen any of the Olympics actually. I was chatting to my daughter about it today, and I was asking her if she's been watching any of it, and she's not been watching any of it either. So I might go and watch some of it with her and show her. Did I get a chance to speak to Ashworth? No, I didn't. Shipper says, any news on Omar Sinclair's injury? No, I think he was at physio on Thursday, so I did mean to catch up with him and see how it goes. David says, I'm flying to Japan in the morning, should be packing, but I'm listening to you while drinking a brew. Priorities. You can do both. Gareth says, the guys above Ten Hag seem to be really involved and looking comfortable talking to fans, etc. I think that's a good sign, actually, yeah. Thoughts on this bloody protest madness? Like I said to Kane earlier, I feel like this is media driven. I think it's media driven, and I think people are being whipped up into nonsense, like the fucking boats thing. In the grand scheme of things, there's a geezer on a fucking lilo coming over across the channel. He's not fucking taking your job. He's not affecting your life. You know, and does our country give them fucking hotels and this, that, and the other? I don't know, right? I don't know. Ultimately, if they do, they do, and if they don't, they don't. I don't think that's the biggest issue that the country faces. I really fucking don't. I think there's far more problems that the country needs to fix, and I think the cost of them it pales into insignificance with some of the other bullshit that goes on. Yeah, I just think it's. I don't know. I think people are frustrated and people are fucking skint and people are feeling the pinch of the cost of living increases and all that sort of stuff and the potential of a fucking war on the horizon. And I think pointing at some fucking poor cunt who come across the fucking channel on a fridge door and saying he's the cause of all your problems is just absolute fucking nonsense. And it's just wrong for me. John says, as a native San Diegan, I can tell you that birria tacos are almost always beef. It might have been beef. I might have got mixed up. And San Diego, mate, might be the best place I've ever been to. I liked it last year when I went. I saw a little bit more of San Diego in terms of variety this time around, and I fucking love San Diego. Andrew says, I'm considering watching the Olympics, but I've seen how corrupt Olympics is as FIFA. Also, North Korea playing, what the fuck? So, yeah, no Olympics for me. Is there actually medicals next week, or is that just rumours? I think there will be medicals, yeah. Greg says, McCullough was buzzing with San Diego. San Diego is a fantastic place. It really is. Jay says, veterans on the streets, migrants in the hotels. Ultimately, yeah, that might be a thing. But anybody, like, you've almost hit the nail on the head. It's not a case of stopping migrants coming in. Like, you need migrants to make the fucking place work. Okay, people coming on a fridge door don't feel like they're going to have a lot to fucking offer, but ultimately, every single country in the, like, do you think France is taking in no fucking migrants? Like, the ones who bother their ass to come all the way through, they're doing it for a reason. I don't know the reason, and you don't know the reason. But ultimately, it's one of them, innit? If they want to fucking do that, there is a freedom to go and do that. It's not a case of stop migrants so you can help veterans. It's a case of help as many fucking people as you can. It shouldn't be a one or the other thing. When you look at some of the fucking money that we waste as a nation, it should be help as many fucking people as you can, man. Did we go to Ocean Beach in San Diego, one of my favourite spots I've ever been to? No, Coronado blew me away. I was like, Coronado is the fucking spot, man. It's beautiful. We did go to Pacific Beach. We watched sunset at Pacific Beach. My mate Jay was telling me about going to Pacific Beach, and then he's also saying I need to go and check out a place called Shore Club. Shore Club was like a very military kind of bar. It had all sorts of military sort of banners and posters and shit like that. And then he was telling me of like 90 fucking D Squadron SAS turning up there a few years ago. And he was like, do not mention that. But I don't know what happened. I really want to know what happened. IR says, I think Ten Hag's track record of promoting youth players is the single biggest reason why he kept his job. Have a feeling Ineos only see him as the man to build a squad over the next few years. That might be the case. I couldn't tell you. Avishek says, Collier the next Manu or / Garner. I think he's probably a level below Manu. I think he's a level below. I do think he can be a part of the first team squad though, for sure. Did I swim? No, I didn't swim. Robert says we haven't improved the squad at all. I actually agree with that. I don't think we have improved the squad yet. 20 Legends says Top Gun Maverick is San Diego. Oh, also there's 20 destroyers just chilling in the bay. I think there's a Marine camp nearby. There's probably 4 or 5 Navy places. There's an air squadron there. Obviously the Navy SEALs are there as well. Yeah, honestly, San Diego's kind of got obviously a bit of a military vibe, a very Mexican vibe for looking at the fucking location of it. It's obvious. But also a very northern quarter Manchester kind of. It's a fucking chill place, man. A really nice place. Phobo says San Diego's incredible. We had a road trip from Toronto down to San Diego a few years, and San Diego's our favourite part of the country, and we got to see a lot of it. It's the only place in America that I've gone. I could live here. New York, whatever. Las Vegas, just fucking burning hell. I mean, you kind of are anyway when you're there. LA is, Santa Barbara was quite nice visually, but we didn't really get to see too much of it. Monterey was all right. Yosemite was nice. San Diego was the only place that I've been to in America where I go, I could actually live here. Jibak says, I'm a migrant. I'm allowed to work in the country because my skill was on a skill shortage list for the UK. Majority of people who come to this country help the economy. Refugees, different story. Of course. And a lot of the places, refugees are coming from places where we fucking cause conflicts. It's kind of our thing. Liam says, close the borders, see how the NHS works then. It wouldn't. And I almost think that was half of what the fucking last government was trying to do, because I think they want to make it a private healthcare kind of gaff. Shippers says, with KO'd filling in defence today, has he now played every position except in goal? He started off in defence for us, actually. He's just a good lad, isn't he? So it's one of those. Did we go down to Tijuana? No, we didn't go down to Tijuana. Yeah. Robert says, is there a preview for the Liverpool game? No, there's not. Nightlife says, hi Steve, met you outside O'Brien's in LA. Cheers for the photo. What did I make of SoFi? SoFi Stadium's incredible. Not a fan of the telly, but the sheer scale of the place is absolutely mental. 20 Legend says, Tampa Bay, Florida, incredible. Florida just seems sweaty to me. I like California heat because it's sunny, but it's one of those, isn't it? Tom says, what's my opinion on the use of MDMA and mushrooms for helping veterans? Keep up the good work from sunny Uzbekistan. Nice. Not a local, I'm assuming, with a name like Tom Fisher, unless it's a pseudonym. I'm all for it. Yeah, use whatever you fucking can. Don't close off the idea. All drugs at some point are medicine on some level, aren't they? Use it. Luke says, yeah, Spain gives you residency after 2 to 5 years for a lot of South American colonies. Many stop at France because they are French from the former colonies. Gareth says, any idea what happened to Anthony's hand? 1 minute it was fine, the next game it's bandaged up. I think the guy has a temper. I have no idea. You might be right. Tucson, Arizona is mint, says 20 Legend. Isn't Tucson, Arizona a fucking million degrees though? There's a difference, isn't there, between California heat and then that heat, because that heat is fucking bonkers. Someone's just joined the Paddock members chat on Telegram. If you're a Paddock member and you're not in the Telegram group, or you're not hitting the forum that's on the website, then you're missing out on loads of interaction. So if you would like to become a member, like I said, just Google Stretford Paddock fan ownership. If you are a member, go and check your emails, because there's a link to the Telegram group right in there. Lee says, Ari, the new stadium design, would I prefer a tight but stacked rectangle to a bowl? Yeah, I think I would. Nightlife says, I'm in Dallas right now and it's 37 degrees at 3 p.m. Fucking hell. I wouldn't mind going to Texas and Dallas in particular, but that's a bit fucking hot, innit? James says, wouldn't be surprised if Anthony got pissed at some point and punched the wall. Wait, I just noticed it seems you're back in the UK. Yeah, I flew home on Thursday. Although my case hasn't flown home yet. If anyone's in San Diego would like to help a brother out, I could really fucking do with getting my luggage back. Notch says the mountain ranges east and north of California and the effect that has on the climate is probably why the heat is nicer. Might be, mate, yeah. California heat's just nice. I mean, LA feels a bit hotter. It could be because it's a city. San Diego's a little bit more spread out. Like, San Diego's mega because you can go anywhere in 15 minutes and it's one of them, innit? David says, when building in a 3-2-5, when losing possession, what's the most effective way to defend a negative transition? Ideally, it depends on where the ball is. What ball have they played? Or is it a runner or is it a ball? What are you being attacked with? You want to try and maintain some level of +1. But the two in the 3-2 should be looking to try and stop the ball, stop the pass, kind of counter press, as should the 5 forwards. They should all converge and try and deal with that. And then that 3 should just hold the line and look to defend the runs and then the plays that's going to come in from that one. Was food cheaper in the US than the UK? It felt about the same. I didn't notice. Luke says, come to Dallas sometime between late November and February. It's shorts and hoodie weather then. Fucking hell. Stephen says, now the Red Bull addiction is cracked. Am I doing the footwear purchasing next? No. And has Janine been texting you? Because that's fucking out of order. I haven't bought shoes for about, I don't know, a week or something. Mr. C says, has Rio been invited down to Paddock training, even if it's just for his insight or as a friend? Yeah, he was meant to come. The day we did the David Gill interview, actually, he was meant to be coming. And I ended up having to do an interview with some fucking radio station and couldn't make it down, which is a bit of a shame. Will I do a live reaction for tonight's game? Either a live or just an 8-minute reaction. We'll see. Clark says the humidity in Colombia tonight is going to be insane. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it checking out like South Carolina. It's a place I've never been to, but it wasn't one of them, was it? Shipper says, sorry if I missed it. It would be great to hear general thoughts on today's win for Paddock. Did I watch it on Veo? Yes, I watched it on Veo. I thought first couple of minutes it looked a little bit shaky. We were going a bit direct. Then for the next 40 or so, we just dominated. Real nice high-level football. So lots of uses of bounces. I love a fucking bounce pass. It just opens space up. It calms everything down, gets everyone to control it. And then we dominated possession. We got into the right sort of shapes. We got into the right sort of areas. We created loads of chances. And it was looking fantastic. And we went 3 up. Then we had a fucking brain fart in the second half where we started going a little bit long. We had an injury, took a defender off. Ended up taking both centre-halves off, actually, I think. Did we? I can't fucking remember now. Yes, we did. We ended up taking both centre-halves off. We went a little bit direct again. It took us a few minutes to sort of calm it down and get back under control. Ended up winning 4-1. We probably deserved another goal or two. Opposition didn't really create much. They only scored from one of our lads fucking playing the opposition in, essentially. So it's one of those. Good performance. I think we needed that little bit of a confidence boost. We've potentially got a friendly against Bury on Monday night. I've just put it into the chat with the lads. Let me just have a see. We've only got 7 that have said yes to it so far, so maybe not. But we will see how it goes with that. NT says, I'm so tired. I've been here 5 minutes and just realised Hey Steele's back in England. Don't know how I'm going to stay awake for the game. Yeah, you and me both, brother. Clark says, stay in the RAF. San Diego's mint. Gaslight District for the win. Yeah, so there was the amount of fucking people that I used to serve with that messaged me and was like, I fucking love San Diego. And I was like, wait. How many of you have been in fucking San Diego? David says, with a lot of teams looking to build attacks in a 3-2-5, which it does look like they're trying to do now, do I think teams will be wary of this and look to get a quick overload on a midfield too? See, that's harder said than done, because where are you going to pull the men from to overload in the 3-5-2? So if I put 5 forward and you don't put 6 back, I've overloaded you. Now, you can risk going 1v1. Me personally, I have players that'll beat you 1v1. So what are you going to do now? You can try and overload me in the 2, but I'm going to overload you in the back line. If you want to pull your men back to overload us in the middle, and give you enough to defend, then you've got no threat going forward. It's a game of chess, isn't it? So it's one of those. It's one of those. Gareth says, can't wait for the season to start. Just hope it doesn't stress me out too much. Don't think I can deal with another season like last. Oh, you and me both, mate. Robin says, I live in Tijuana. I've been here 10 years. There's nothing here worth coming for. You can't get on the other side. I guess it's a box tick if you can go. Do I think I can do a Mark White and get Paddock to the National League? I have to learn a lot, I think. I'm learning every game. I'd have to learn a lot, I think. Was I involved in any active ops in Afghanistan? Yes, I did 2 operational tours of Afghanistan. How did Walker do at centre-half? Very good, actually. Very fucking good. He did really well. He's impressed me, actually. I didn't think he was as good as he has been, but he did real well. Yeah, he did well. On my way to the game in Colombia, coming from Tampa, so the humidity is nothing to me. Why has 4-4-2 become obsolete barring Atletico Madrid? I think it's the angles. When you play a 4-4-2, the wider players in a 4-4-2 are very wide, and people want to overload, so you'll be playing against a 3 very often, and you just get outnumbered. It's a great shape for defending, though. It should be a lot of people's go-to when it comes to defending. David says, cheers, Steve, makes sense. Just worries me with Casemiro and Mount 2. Teams breaking on us. The three behind that 2 should be fine. They should be enough to do that. At my level, 3 is fine. At Premier League level, obviously, you've got a fucking different kettle of fish that you're dealing with. It's one of them, innit? Would I take a Europa League win now if offered? Can Ten Hag win another trophy? It'd be fucking good if he does. Good signs if he does, innit? Dumping down here in South Carolina for the Scouts match. Is it? Nice. West Ham look dangerous on paper this season. Who's the new manager they've got? What's he called? I can't remember who the fucking new manager is. I do know who the new manager is, but I forgot who the new manager is. Liam says, the crazy thing about Anthony at Ajax is he looked like a genuine player, not a stats machine, but effective and direct. Cannot help but think external issues have had to affect mentally. Lopetegui, yeah, that's the one, yeah. Stephen Harris says, did Lodge Church and Roaches last week, 12.9 mile, longest I've done in years, worth the effort though, breathtaking at times. Lodge Church is a right one, yeah. As I said, I was debating doing one this week. What I'm actually going to be doing, I'm going to be taking my little girl out. I'm going to do some camping with her. Well, it's a 6-week holidays and the weather's nice. How is it best to get into coaching? Are Paddock looking? We are looking. Yeah, if people want to come and help coach Paddock, but I think for coaching us, I need to add people with experience into my team. It's not really the place to look. The 21s, the reserves, or something under 16s might benefit from having like an extra pair of hands. But I think coaching, you've got to be able to, you've got to know what you're looking for to be able to then put it into the players. I think that's one of the hardest things to get, to know exactly what you're looking for, so you know when people are doing it right, know when people are doing it wrong. And I'm still learning, but I think I know now what is a good performance from us and what's a bad performance from us. Righty, I'm going to wrap it up. We've done over an hour here, haven't we? But cheers to everyone for absolutely fucking chaotic, but nice one. Cheers. See you in a bit. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.